tries to stop this power and to say you are only dead, you have to listen to us, they've forgotten one thing. If a seed is in the ground, it can never refuse to become a big tree. You can destroy the seed, you can destroy the tree, but you can never destroy the force in the seed, in the tree, in the soil, in the rain, in the heaven, in the solar systems, in the galaxy, in the universes. And it is this force which is the base of intention.
At Freedom Central, we try to provide a platform for people like yourselves who have a message for humanity. And as I started this interview, I said that you're definitely someone who has a message for humanity, and that's why you've come along this journey. So just before we close off, could you share your message for humanity with us?
My name is Messing. And Messing is very close to a metallic energy. That means to join things together. But I always ask myself also the question why you have this name. And one day I met a person from England who made a long march to me, to our home. At that time we lived in Holland. He had walked 300-400 kilometers for visiting me, and his name was Messenger, literally. He said, I have a message for you. And he came 3 days in our home. He told me a lot of things from the past, from the knowledge he had. And then he said, don't you think it's a sort of coincidence? Your name is Messing. That means in the alchemical language that you have to unify a lot of things. For people showing that they are not pieces, but this unity. And my name is Messenger. I was about 12, 13, 14 years that I had a very strong feeling that I lived in another way, thought in another way, without saying I'm particularly, because that can become arrogance. Because then you are in duality there and here. You are not more and they are not less, but I was living in another way. Very quickly I felt in my body no meat, no alcohol, etc. I saw the world in another way, and I felt a very strong longing to my real home. I had the feeling, what is this for a planet here? It was like a landing here, and then step after step things are becoming clear in your consciousness. Dus after the period in the Netherlands we changed from country and we lived in the Pyrenees, 11 years. I have to tell a little story, is it allowed?
Yes, of course.
About 18 years ago I worked in Amsterdam in the Bibliotheca Philosophica Hermetica. And the owner asked me and my colleague to go to New York and to look to a manuscript of the Grail from Dubourg. It's one of the most famous Grail manuscripts. If you read Parsifal, Wolfgang von Eschenbach and other manuscripts, is Dubourg, a very precious Grail manuscript. It was also very expensive in money, but I never did something with money, that were other persons. And I said, okay, it's a beautiful manuscript, it's real, it's absolutely very precious in spiritual sense. And then in the early evening I went to the Empire State Building and my colleague went to another side of New York. It's a very high building, like you know, the Empire State Building, and you can see the Twin Towers. Not very good, but you can see them. And suddenly And I looked there, and I am a man who likes very much to climb the mountains. When I lived in the mountains, we were very, very often on the tops of the mountains. I liked that because the sight is beautiful, the silence is beautiful. You feel the strong of the spirit, and then you understand why Christ and Hermes Trismegistus and the Buddha gave their preachings on the top of the mountains, because there is a very, very special energy. But I don't feel my very good on high buildings. And I looked down and I thought people is totally crazy. Such little automobiles, no trees in the streets. And then I looked to the Twin Towers and I suddenly saw, and I speak about more than 18 years ago, that they collapsed. I thought, what is happening here? That's not possible. My heart was beating very strong. In the evening I went to my hotel and I phoned to my soulmate, my wife, Marijke, and I said, I saw something awfully. I don't know why, wherefore, when, but there is an inside knowing that it will happening. She, me, we forget it after some years, and then we lived in the mountains of the Pyrenees, in the environment of the Catars. And I got a lot of information about the wisdom from the Catars. I wrote a book about it, and I'm preparing a book with the essence of the wisdom of Catars. And then after a period of 11 years, I suddenly said to Marijke, I feel we have to go back to the Lau lands, the Netherlands, Belgium. At that time I gave some teachings in the Netherlands, in Belgium, also in Poland, all the countries. And then she said, okay, I feel the clock is round, we have to go back. It was a time of preparing, a time of writing, a time of silence, a time of meditation, a time of living in the forest, a time of living in the rivers, a time of climbing the mountains, a time of awakening in the night, a wonderful time. And you know what is nature. And then we went to the immigration service institution, and then we made an appointment for moving. And then the owner of the moving society said, when do you want, which date you like to emigrate to Belgium? I said, le 13, 14, 15. Quand c'est possible, peut-être le 15 ou la 9e mai. Non, 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 non. Que le 11, c'est possible. Only 11 September is possible for your immigration. I said, okay, if that is the only date in your agenda, 9/11, we are going to leave France and emigrate to Belgium on 9/11. And then, exactly on that date, we were in the autocar. And Marijke is always driving. I'm not a good driver. I'm walking in the forest and I can find every place, but in the traffic, please don't do that with me. And then she was driving and I suddenly said, I was a little bit in meditation, I said, please Marijke, do you want to change the radio program? We were listening, I thought, to France Culture, and I said, can you change it to Radio 1, Radio 1? And suddenly we came in the program that the Twin Towers were collapsing. And I was very pale. Marijke said, I never saw you so pale in your life at that moment only.